What is going on, Laker fans? Back with another pregame live talk. As we take on the Atlanta Hawks, this tip-up starts at 4:30 p.m. It's an early game. It's the last game of our road trip. I'm pretty excited about this game. As usual, we'll take a look at the game highlights from the last against the Boston Celtics. Of course, this game, Lakers took with a 1-point lead. There's a lot of seesaw battle for the game against Boston Celtics. Anthony Davis finished with 27 points and 14 rebounds. We were not able to stop the Boston's big two, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. It was a very close game until the end. The Lakers were able to survive as Kemba Walker missed the game-winning jumper. Then they missed that putback from the so Lakers were able to survive on this game and came up with a victory. So they're now standing 4-2 in this road trip, and they'll go back home and they'll be playing the Denver Nuggets on Thursday, I believe. So they'll take a couple of days of rest going into Staples Center. They'll start fresh after this road trip. Hopefully they can rejuvenate themselves, get some rest. I know a lot of players are tired from this road trip. Hopefully things work out better down the road. Let's talk about the keys to the game. They need to minimize these turnovers. They committed 15 turnovers last game. And also they need to really protect the points in the paint. They allowed Boston to score 60 points in the paint. The Lakers only had 40. And continue attacking the basket. Of course, continue feeding the ball to Anthony Davis and try to get an early offense, try to get an early lead if possible. Atlanta has a lot of firepower. They can come back. If even Lakers are up 10 or 20, they still have a lot of offensive power to make a comeback. So we cannot settle for anything and take the game seriously. Have more positive energy toward the game. Let's end this last game of the road with a positive note. We do not get discouraged after, if you take a loss, take good things about the loss, and not get discouraged even the game, doesn't go in our way. Still have to continue to stay positive and, take it to the next game. The player of the game, I believe, will be LeBron James, either Anthony Davis, but because Anthony Davis performed well for the last game, really LeBron James, it's time for LeBron to, show up his MVP caliber performance. X Factor of the night, I will pick unusual guy. Of course, the player of game always, I pick the guy that, is supposed to perform well every single night. The X Factor, I usually pick the player that is unexpected, not expected to perform every single game. So I'll have to go with Alex Caruso this time. His defense will definitely help the Lakers to propel against the Atlanta Hawks. And that's just my take on tonight's game. What is your prediction for tonight's game? I expect Lakers to come out strong and maintain a lead until the end of third quarter. If they have the lead until the end of third quarter, they'll definitely get a win. But if they are playing like a seesaw battle, or they're playing the chasing game, I believe Atlanta will finish off us early, even early third quarter. It really depends on how we play in the first half and how we come out, beginning of this game. So it really up to the starter to push the tempo and get an early lead, and then bench to really maintain the lead. All right, let's go on to the NBA news for tonight. There are a couple of news that I'd like to talk about. Of course, as you know, the NBA power ranking has been updated for weekly rank, and I'm pretty surprised that LA Clippers are currently ranked in first. I don't know whether it's the ESPN really credit LA Clippers, the recent, their play. They've been winning 10 out of that 11 games. But I give more credit to Utah Jazz because they're an unexpected team that nobody thought they will be having this kind of, record in the beginning of the season. Right now they're number one in the West, of course, right? Utah Jazz and the Clippers, like a half game behind the Lakers, just like one games apiece, doing these 1 to 3 third place in the Western Conference. This is not much of a difference within their standing. But since ESPN picked Utah as fourth, even behind the Philadelphia 76ers, I was a little surprised by that. Other than that, all the ranking looks accurate. LA Clippers stand in 1, Los Angeles Lakers in 2nd, Philadelphia in 3rd, Utah in 4th, Denver in 5th, Brooklyn Nets in 6th. Milwaukee Bucks struggling a little bit this season. And Boston Celtics, of course, lost against the Lakers on Saturday. That's why they're the rank in number 8. Indiana Pacers number 9, and Phoenix Suns number 10. Do you see any surprising rank in terms of ranking? I think it's pretty much accurate how ESPN picked their rankings. So I really think Lakers need to really win this last road game, and possibly win another game, a couple games in a row, and they could be in the number 1 rankings, the next power rank. All right. A couple more news to report. Of course, related to J.J. Redick trade, New York is also interested in trading J.J. Redick. And the Pelicans are looking to trade him, very aggressively looking to trade him before the trade deadline. It's not because New York is actually interested. It's that J.J. Redick's wife is currently residing in New York, and that's why the Knicks is becoming the favorite for his trade destination. So it has to do with his wife, or whether his wife's favor him playing for the Knicks. It's possible that he could get traded there. So there's a player of the week is updated. So the Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, and the Brooklyn Nets, James Harden, has been named the player of the week for the week 6. It's a little weird to hear that James Harden is ranked as a player of the week, because usually he gets ranked the player of the month most of the time, and it's surprising that he got looked at as a player of the week candidate. It's just because they got so much firepower in Brooklyn. It's hard for Harden to perform like he did in Houston. He cannot put up the same number. If you put up the same number like he did, with the Rockets, definitely be the player of the month, candidate. Now, the Lonzo Ball trade is also circulating around the league. The Chicago Bulls have some interest in trade for Lonzo Ball now. So Pelicans are looking to trade Lonzo and J.J. Redick at the same time, but they're looking for the right return. So if not getting the right return they're looking for, they will possibly postpone this trade. Aaron Gordon from Orlando Magic has a severe left ankle sprain and not a fracture, and is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. And sources tell the Athletics and the Stadium. So Aaron Gordon is playing as a starting forward for the Orlando Magic, having a decent year. He's not out with the sprained ankle. And they're traded related to Daniel House Jr.'s and the PJ Tucker. So they are receiving trade interest on PJ Tucker and Daniel House. So it's possible they could trade these both players before the trade deadline. And I believe that PJ Tucker could be a great help for the contending team. Daniel House Jr. is also a decent 3-and-D guy. He can also play 4, stretch 4. That could be a great addition to other team. D'Angelo Russell is also playing tonight, and Naj Reid will be a game-time decision. Of course, the Minnesota is not playing very well this year since Karl Anthony Towns hasn't come back to the lineup, and they are struggling mightily. They're the worst team in the West. You can't really ask too much of the Minnesota how they're performing. They're still a young team, and D'Angelo Russell still have a lot of room for improvements as a leader. There's no questions about his skill level. All right, James Wiseman will be out 10 days, 7 to 10 days, because he has sprained left wrist. See, of course, the Wiseman is number 2 pick in the draft. Number 1 pick, of course, in the draft by the Golden State Warriors. And he's performing well. So the number 2 pick, my mistake, it was Anthony Edwards of number 1 pick from the Minnesota Timberwolves. LaMelo Ball will be started tonight for Charlotte. James Borrego, the coach, says Terry Rozier won't go unless he's 100%. Hornets haven't decided. So Terry Rozier is currently out with the injury. And LaMelo Ball will get his first NBA starting job tonight. And Drummond, there's a news circulated about Drummond is unlikely to remain with the Cavs beyond the trade deadline by the Amico Hoops. Drummond currently is in trade block, and he possible destination is Brooklyn Nets, but I don't know who they can give away for Andre Drummond. I don't know. It's possible that they could maybe pair up with a couple bench players. I think DeAndre Jordan, they have to keep it because they are short on big man. So they'll go with some guard position. I don't know if is either going to be Spencer Dinwiddie going to be traded or any of the, names other than those big 3 could be possibly in the trade block. All right, that's everything for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will keep update with the new NBA news that comes on. I hope you guys enjoy the game, and I will see you after the post-game recap. All right, Mamba out.